Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today is another episode of My RC Car and we're at episode 14. Yeah, I gotta stop doing that, I know. And today we're gonna have a look on the Clodbuster. And what can I say? What's not to like about the Clodbuster? Okay, there's probably a lot not to like, but the Clodbuster is one of my favorite bashing cars, or the one when I just want to go out and have fun. I often take this one and take it for a drive. The way it behaves is all just bumpy and jumping around, and yeah, it's such a fun car to drive. So what can we say of the Clodbuster? Well, it's big. Yeah, I guess it's one of the biggest monster trucks Tamiya have, together with of course with the TX T1 and those, but yeah, it's big, it's kind of heavy, and actually this one floats. I remember my childhood friend who had one of these back in the days when we actually tried to see if it floated and or if it floats. And remember, we used the rubber Tamiya balloons on the motors, and we went into the is it pit you call it? It's been raining a lot, and we drove out and it actually floated. Remember, I was pretty impressed with such a huge car that floated. But yeah, it's all about the wheels. So I also think we did some tape on the, I can't remember if there were air vent holes like this, because the thing is with this one isn't a vintage Clodbuster. This is actually a Super Clodbuster. I did swap, I can't remember which one, but I did swap a car or two with a friend of mine, Kim, for his Super Clodbuster, and he had done actually a lot of upgrades on it, like metallic bumpers. There was this, I still have some of it, some steering linkage upgrades, and he had like big oil shocks on it. But I really wanted to have the vintage one and the vintage feel, so that's why I went with getting all the red vintage parts for it. The body, as you can see, is actually not a hard body. This is Parma's body of the Clodbuster. Yeah, I thought that would be better to have for bashing around than a hard body, but I don't know, this one has really got some beatings, so but I'll show that afterwards when we have a closer look to this car. And I think we have to do that now because it's getting quite heavy. I can feel it in my arms. So let me just put this down and take the camera over here and we'll have a look. Okay, let's just start looking on the body and I will show you what I've done and what's different to the hard body. The obvious one is this one, the air scoop for the carburetors. That one is like a plastic part that you mount outside the original hard body, and this one of course just have decals, and I painted the grille. I added some fender flares because I think it looks mean, and I did all the body lines in black to get it a little more realistic. I also added this cover for the bed, So I think that's pretty cool, but of course then it's a little bit hard to get the body off because you have to do it like this. But it's not that often I take the body off, so that's okay. The decals, I think I got some, I think they are from MCI. I can't really remember, or maybe I got some original ones. Could be. And for damage on the body, you can see here it's all cracked all the way up, and on the door it's cracked. So just some transparent tape on the outside, and yeah, here is something going on here. I'm not quite sure what that is. Can't remember. This is probably just a quick fix I did one time. If you can't fix it with gaffer tape, it ain't worth fixing, right? That's what they say. So yeah. And so what I did to the body, it comes with a bumper, but I did actually cut it away and mounted the original one because it looks a lot better. Yeah, and the car is, like it says here, 4x4x4, so it's a 4-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering car. And talking about the steering, the steering on the Clodbuster is kind of interesting because you have one servo mounted in the middle of the chassis, which is supposed to steer both of these heavy or big wheels, which is quite a heavy. So what happened was that the servo, even though I put a really strong one in, didn't manage to turn the wheels when the car just sat on the ground. So it was kind of the steering arrangement for on both sides that was flexible or something like that, so it didn't manage it. So you had to drive before it actually managed to steer. But I have done an upgrade on that. You can have a look on that. So if you have a look here in the front, you can see I have mounted a servo in front here. So this is 3D printed parts I got from Thingiverse. It's a web page where you can share your 3D designs, so anyone who wants to can download them for free. So I downloaded actually 2 versions of this conversion kit, or not this conversion kit, it was 2 different conversion kits. So the one I did was this one, on that side, and on this side was one kit, and this plate here belonged to another conversion kit. So I thought it would be cool to have that one here to cover a little bit, so I added that one. I did have to make some cuts into it, but yeah. And also I had to lower the servo further down, as you can see on this piece here, because what happened when the springs all when the springs all came down, you can see now they actually hit the servo now also, but it takes quite a lot of force to push it all the way down there. So I think it's good. So I added that one in the front, and also one here in the rear. It's exactly the same one, or I did exactly the same thing. I printed this in PLA, carbon reinforced material, so hopefully it will hold, and it has done so. I've been bashing around with the car. Of course, I'm not bashing like crazy with it, but enough to have fun, so that's okay. And another upgrade I did to the car, I took away the standard motors and I bought some aftermarket ones from China, and this says RS540 motor, tuned machine motor, and it's 19 turn. Not sure if you can see. So, and they are brushed. It's brushed motors. So, and we have another one there. So it's a dual motor. So you need a dual electron speed controller that takes dual motors. And I'll see, I did actually rebuild this car back in 2016. Let's take off the body so you can have a look on the inside. Okay, so this one used to have some lights, but I haven't really connected them. I can do so because it's pretty cool. And yeah, here you can see some of the damage in the body. I also seen that I need to do something here, and there and there, yeah. So it's got quite a lot of beating. Yeah, it's broken there, but it still works, still holds together. So yeah. But of course I need to start considering getting a new one. So I have one in spare for when that one gets totally crushed. So yeah. So what I've done, I'm just using a regular two channel controller, but I bought this Y connector, which makes the wheels like turn the opposite way around, so you go the correct way. Other than that, the chassis isn't that really special. Now I have a really good space down there where the original servo was. Also, some of the previous owners have cut pretty much in the chassis, as you can see. That's not, the hole there is not original, but that's okay. I made one here to get the servo cable up there. And let's see which speed controller I have. Not sure if it says anything. It's only saying VP860 dual, ready to run, waterproof, brushed. So yeah, and I'm running, as in many of my cars, the Sky RC, because then I can use just one controller. Yeah, and I run this on a NIM battery. Lately I have been running it on 2S because yeah, it's just a little bit more fun. I did a rebuild of this one. I have a build thread of it on my webpage. I will make a link on that in the description if you want to have a look. Here you can see some of the changes I did and some of how the car looked before when I got it. So yeah, just have a look on my webpage and you will see. Let's see if I can find the these parts on Thingiverse so I can show you how they looked. If you want to go and grab them yourself, I will make a link in the description down below for where you can find it. The car is so much better now that it's actually have 2 servos, and it managed to steer when it stands still as well. The only thing is kind of embarrassing to say, but the only thing I having a little bit trouble with is to get the steering, what do you call it, like you can see it's not kind of 100% aligned when the controller and everything is on. So that one I have to look further into. Yeah, so we had a look on my Clodbuster. Yeah, that's the sound when you go driving with the car. Don't you just love it? yeah, it's fun. Yeah, if you haven't driven a Clodbuster, I suggest you try doing it because it's really fun to do, and it can take some beatings. So, but you don't need that extreme speed on this car to have fun. I know Kim, who had the car before, he put some insane brushless system on the car, and it went like crazy. I don't doubt that that was fun, but for me, yeah, this is enough. I just love it like it is. And if you want to see some of the driving videos of my cars, I will put a link up there, I think, and definitely put a link to a playlist with all my Clodbuster driving in the description down below, so please check out that. But yeah, I definitely recommend getting a Clodbuster. It's worth having in the collection. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching this video. If you have subscribed to my channel, I thank you so much for that. If you haven't subscribed, please help motivating me by subscribing to the channel and hit the notification bell to get on the update on our next video. And until I see you next time, just take care, have fun, and bye bye.